In a previous lesson, we discussed hacking the major scale in seconds. You can watch this video by clicking the link at the top right. This time, we will apply a similar hack to visualize the natural minor scale in seconds. Before we begin, let's go over the interval structure of the natural minor scale. In the ascending scale, there is a whole step or major second between the intervals 1 and 2, flat 3 and 4, 4 and 5, flat 6 and flat 7, and flat 7 and 1, and only one half step or a minor second between intervals 2 and flat 3, and 5 and flat 6. We use the cage system to divide the fretboard into 5 easy-to-navigate positions. You will find that there are 5 cage shapes for the natural minor scale. The intervals of the natural minor scale are arranged in the order of fourths as follows: 2, 5, 1, 4, flat 7, flat 3, and flat 6. Shortly, you will learn how to use this pattern of fourths to decode the minor scale in seconds. Let's take a close look at the notes vertically arranged on each string. You will find that there is either a minor second interval of 1 half step followed by a major second interval of 2 half steps, or a major second interval followed by a minor second interval. You will also notice a lone major second on only one of the strings in each shape. Let's explore a shortcut to identify the pattern of seconds in each cage shape. We will use the chart of fourths below as a guide to identify the intervals from which we can have minor and major seconds within the scale shape. When the lowest intervals on a string are 2 or 5, we will find a minor second followed by a major second, as in 2, flat 3, 4, and 5, flat 6, flat 7. When 1 or 4 is the lowest note on a string, we will find a major second followed by a minor second corresponding to intervals 1, 2, flat 3, and 4, 5, flat 6. Since we do not have a note that is a half step below flat 7 or a note a half step above 1, we will find a lone major second, flat 7 to 1, in each cage shape. Because we have intervals 2 and 5 1 half step below flat 3 and flat 6, we must repeat the minor second, major second pattern we started with, namely intervals 2 and 5. Now, let's apply the same strategy to decode seconds using the notes from the B minor scale. If you are not familiar with this scale, you do not have to count in half steps and whole steps to derive the scale tones. Instead, you can apply a shortcut to not only derive the notes of the B minor scale, but also to identify the notes in the same sequence on the fretboard. When plotting minor scale notes as perfect fourths, we must begin our pattern from the major second scale degree C sharp, which is a whole step up from the root B. We will arrive at the following notes: C sharp, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G. Now that we know the notes in the B minor scale, let's begin identifying the pattern of seconds using our chart of fourths as a guide. Starting from the second and fifth scale degrees, which are notes C sharp and F, we will find a minor second, major second interval pattern between the notes C sharp, D, E, followed by F sharp, G, A, on an adjacent string. From the next 2 letters in our chart, B and E, we will find that B, C sharp, D, and E, F sharp, G follow a major second, minor second interval pattern on adjacent strings. The sole major second is A to B. Let's try identifying a few shapes using the shortcuts we have learned thus far. Here is a fret diagram with colored dots representing a caged minor scale shape. Can you identify the minor second, major second intervals represented as red dots on the B and E strings? Do you remember the intervals from which this pattern occurs? If you said 2, flat 3, 4, and 5, flat 6, flat 7, you're correct. Let's try one more. Can you recall the lone major second in a natural minor cage scale? If you have identified the blue dots as flat 7 and 1, you're right again. An important skill to have if you wish to master the natural minor scale, or any other scale for that matter, is knowing how to identify scale intervals on any random string pair. With the NANDI method, you will discover that the fastest way to learn is by using the intervallic relationship between the open notes as a reference. Take a look at this shape with the root indicated as 1. Can you identify the closest location of 2 on a non-adjacent string, a major second away? If you do not know the answer, here is a simple hack that you will find very helpful. By simply referencing the major second relationship between the A and B strings, we can identify 2 on the same fret of the B string. The D and E and G and A strings also share a major second relationship, meaning you can identify a major second from any note of the minor scale on the same fret on these string pairs. Take a look at the illustrations below for examples of major seconds on non-adjacent strings. If you wish to excel at visualizing the minor scale from every interval and note using simple fretboard logic, we suggest downloading our mobile app Natural Minor Scales within the series Guitar Scales Unleashed for just 99 cents. There you have it, minor scale hack to visualize seconds with the NANDI method.